we're going to do a fall reset. It's a good time for us to kind of shake off some bad habits and get back to doing things that we need to be doing. And by us, I mean me. And since I'm doing it, y'all coming along with me, we're going to do it together. So, y'all, hey, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for stopping by, y'all. Check out this glorious day the Lord has made for us to enjoy here in the Northland. This, my friends, is one of the reasons that I absolutely love fall. Well, I mean this in football, but you know, that's a given. But oh, did y'all hear that beep? I'll tell y'all about that in a second. Anyway, yeah, so it is an absolutely glorious day here in the Northland. It's about 69 degrees right now. The sun is shining. There is a slight breeze. It's absolutely beautiful. And let me tell you what we're up to. So first, y'all heard that beep. Our very, very first stop is we got to go get gas, because while I do not plan to drive the 57 miles that I have left in my range, you never know what might come up. So I'm gonna go to Reckley and get us some gas. But what we're really doing is, y'all, we're gonna do a fall reset, because like I said, it is beautiful. Look at okay, I know y'all are worn out on the fall leaves, but just look, this tree, this is one of my absolute favorite things on the face of the earth, is this tree. Just beautiful. And so it got struck, I can't remember if I got struck by lightning or if it split in a storm, but it's still gorgeous. Like, it used to be twice as big. It's still gorgeous. Anyway, don't get me started. So it's fall. I'm not gonna like drive down the road and keep showing y'all all the trees, but things are changing. It is a time of, I don't know, I feel like I realize things are dying and things are going to sleep and like the earth is changing, but I feel like it is a time of renewal. So I'm not gonna get all like weird and esoteric on you, even though I guess I feel like I already kind of did, but I feel like this is a good time for us to sort of, as the earth is sloughing off her like dead leaves and stuff, it's a good time for us to kind of shake off some bad habits and get back to doing things that we need to be doing. And by us, I mean me. And since I'm doing it, y'all coming along with me, we're gonna do it together. So first, I'm gonna go get some gas. Oh, y'all are, that turn gets us every time. But y'all end up looking over the top of my head. But first, we can go get some gas. And then I'm gonna run around and pick up some stuff, and then we're gonna go back to the house. I have an idea of one thing I wanna make that I saw on one of those, y'all, it is so bright, like the sun is messing up. Sorry, this part of this video is just gonna be blown out because it is so bright, and I'm just not gonna adjust anything. We're just gonna enjoy the sunshine. We're gonna make hay, we're gonna enjoy the sun while the sun is shining, because winter is coming, and winter is coming. That's all I'm gonna say about that. So, what was I saying? Oh, I know one thing I want to make, but we're gonna make a couple things. So let me go get some stuff. We'll head back to the house, and y'all, I want to lift some weights, but I really need to do some yoga, because do you notice the car's going like this? I don't know if y'all can tell, but the car's going like this because my foot is cramping. And that's partially because I need to drink some like purple drink or something, but it's also partially because I need to stretch. So that's what I'm gonna do. I did a glutes and like thighs and glutes workout yesterday that was fantastic, and it worked the snot out of my hamstrings, and so now my hammies are like so I need to go home and stretch them bad boys out. So as much as I want to throw some weights, I need to do some stretching. So I'm gonna do my run-ins about, we'll go home and do some yoga, and then we'll get in the kitchen, we'll talk about our fall reset, and we'll make some stuff. So let me do this, and I'll meet y'all back there.
Waking up, it's gone. It leaves us feeling cold again. Picking up the stones our hands were made to feel. And moments like these, they show us what we've got when we ain't got a thing. We've got us. We've got us. got us. We've got us. We've got us. Yes! His eyes look infected. His left ankle is bruised. Taking healthiness for granted. Mistakes happen, you and I will learn. And moments like these days show us what we've got when we ain't got a thing. And still we've got us. Still we've got us.
Who y'all? I'm all relaxed and bendy now from my yoga. You know, airtime. I do, hang on, let me grab my water. Airtime. I do a good yoga workout, I think. I should do that more often. So then, like, in a couple of days, I'll go out in the garage and be like, oh, I'm going to do yoga today. And then I'll get out there and get ready and be like, do I want to do yoga or do I want to lift some weights? And then I lift some weights. So I really need, you know what I need to do is I need to do another one of the Peloton yoga programs where you have to do like a certain number of yogas a month to get the gold medal, because that'll make me do the yogas. But anyway, enough of all that. Let's talk about our fall reset. Now, I don't remember in the card, did we talk about why we're doing a fall reset? Like why it's a good idea? Well, to me, I don't know. I guess the main reason that I think a fall reset is a good idea is because this is kind of like the last stretch before the absolute utter craziness of the holidays sets in. So I feel like it's a good time to like chill out, get things back in check, and like get things lined up before stuff just absolutely goes off the rails for the holidays. So that's really why I try to get things like figured out and settled down in the fall. And then of course we're getting out of summer, and summer is a time where you're like, oh, I'm going to the pool and there's ice cream and there's drinks and there's parties and there's picnics and there's like all of the summer indulgences, like all of the things that you convince yourself it's okay to do because it's summer. Y'all, it ain't summer anymore. So we need to settle down. We need to calm down and get back on track. And I really feel like, and I think I did talk about this in the car. I don't know like if I said it any kind of way that made sense, but I feel like the earth is like shedding old dead stuff and like getting ready to sort of start a new cycle, like start rejuvenating, renewing things. So I feel like we can kind of do that too. Just get rid of the stuff that we don't need and get back into like nourishing and healthy habits that we should have been doing all along. So of course we are not talking about fad diets. We're not talking about doing like detox cleanses or fasting or any of that stuff. We're talking about sustainable, good habits to get us back to being healthy. So let's start with this one we've talked about. And I should have thought about this, but you'll see in a second what in the world I'm talking about. Let's talk about doing like seasonally appropriate things like using and eating seasonal produce, right? There are absolutely beautiful seasonal squashes that are in season, seasonal squashes right now that are delicious. They're hearty. They're easy to cook with. There are like apples. Y'all, apples are actually in season right now. Apples and pears are in season. Those are great. Sweet potatoes. There are leafy greens that are in season right now. So these are all things that you can get fresh now. And a lot of times you can get them at a lower price than they are other times of year because they're in season. So think about maybe, I got a gorgeous spaghetti squash, which is in my oven right now. We're going to talk about that at the end of our reset list. We're going to talk about what I'm doing with my spaghetti squash, but I should have kept it to show it to y'all before I stuck it in the oven. But alas and alack, y'all know what a spaghetti squash looks like. But anyway, so like spaghetti squash, acorn squash, those big gorgeous squashes. Think about maybe roasting some seasonal vegetables. Maybe at the beginning of the week, roast a big old batch of vegetables and eat off of those for the week. Like use those as your veg in a few meals through the week. So that's an easy way to do one of our things that we're going to talk about, which is adding veg to every meal. Maybe roast you some seasonal vegetables. Or what about, we mentioned apples and pears are in season, those are a great snack. So maybe sub those for a different, maybe less healthy snack you've been eating. And y'all, these are all, everything that we're going to talk about, but these specifically are small, sustainable changes that you can make. So we're not trying to make like huge changes all at once that are going to throw everything off, cost you a fortune, and that are just, you're not going to be able to keep up with. Do little things. Like I mentioned, add 1 extra serving of vegetables at lunch or dinner. Or maybe with your apples and pears, swap those. Instead of eating a sugary or starchy treat or snack in the afternoon, maybe sub in an apple or a pear with some kind of protein like almond butter or chocolate hummus. Y'all, I need to make chocolate hummus. We're not going to make it together, but I need to make some chocolate hummus. But yeah, maybe have an apple and some chocolate hummus, or a pear and chocolate hummus, or either one of those and one of your nut butters. So good, so filling, so fresh, so fun, so seasonal. I know, y'all, seriously, that yoga was really, really good. Anyway, let's get back to it. So adding a veg, subbing in the fruits for less fruity snacks. What about whole grains? Use whole grains like oats or jasmine rice, brown rice, quinoa. Use one of those in place of a more processed grain like my beloved white rice. Now, y'all, look, you don't have to give up your more processed grains, but just every once in a while, sub in one of those more healthy. Y'all know I'm not giving up my white rice, but I do sub in quinoa every once in a while for my white rice. So progress, not perfection. Sustainable, small changes. How about this one? We talk about this all the time too. This is fabulous in the fall and winter, but I feel like this is a fall thing. Batch cook, make you a big old pot of something like, was it last week? Or I hope it was last week, not week before. I made that pot of, sorry, I'm using my Supernote. My Supernote is like right below y'all, that I have my notes on, and it wants me to update it right now, and I can't because I'm using it. So it keeps like flashing the update now. Quit it out. Anyway, I made that white bean chicken chili. I'm gonna call it last week, but night before last, I was expecting the intern home, so I was going to cook. Well, he texted me and said, I mean, he did come home, but I was expecting him home for dinner. He texted and said, had a late lunch meeting. I'm not going to be hungry for dinner. So I was like, okay. Put what I was going to cook back in the fridge, and I just warmed up actually the very last of that white bean chicken chili, which I still don't know what to call it. I change the name every time I mention it, but I finished that off. So keeping those around, like that kind of thing, like a hearty soup, a stew, chili, keeping those around where you can just heat them up for either just yourself if you're eating alone or for your whole crew. That's a great way to keep from making less healthy choices when it comes down to like making a quick decision on the go, or in general just making dinner in the fall. So think about batch cooking something like that, breaking it up into serving sizes that make sense for you and your family. Freeze some, fridge some, and keep them on hand for when you need to throw together a meal. All right. I feel like such a hypocrite talking about this because I feel like this is a challenge for me all the time, but how about a hydration reset? Now, I drink water. Well, I carry water around with me all the time. I must not drink as much water as I think I do because I often get muscle cramps, but stay hydrated, my friends. I know in the summer, like we know that we need to hydrate because it's hot and it's sunny and like we're out running about and we're not sweating, we're glowing, we're glowy. So we think to drink, but in the fall, you still need to stay hydrated. So let's think of some like warm seasonal alternatives to our cold summer beverages. What about a nice herbal tea instead of the ice water or like cold fruity drinks that we drink in the summer? Or how about, so I know lots of people like those heavy like latte drinks from the coffee chain stores. How about this? How about instead of that, instead of getting like the big old latte, maybe get a smaller latte? Or get your same old latte, but with a lower fat milk option. You can get like an oat milk, or you can still get, if you drink cow milk, you can still get cow milk, but just get maybe a skim milk instead of the full fat milk, or Lord help us, half and half. Or use less syrup in your drinks, or maybe try some kind of homemade spice mix. That might be fun. All right, let Let me get off your drinks of choice. We've talked about this before. Remember to build a balanced plate. So that means half your plate is going to be fruits and non-starchy vegetables. 1/4 is going to be lean protein, and the other 1/4 is whole grains. So for the fall, we can do maybe like a hearty salad with some of those roast vegetables that we made back in item number 1. How about those in your salad? Maybe some butternut squash or some chickpeas. Y'all, Brussels sprouts are also seasonal. Yum, roast you some Brussels sprouts. So we should do that. We're not today. I don't have Brussels sprouts today, but we should do that one day. Roast Brussels sprouts. Did we ever do Brussels sprouts in the air fryer? If not, we're going to try that. Anyway, you can do, so your roast vegetables with your salad, or like a grain bowl, a quinoa bowl with some chicken or other lean protein and maybe some beans. So, y'all, I'm getting hungry. I'm getting hungry. Let's move on through this list so I can get me something to eat. All right. As always, be mindful about your eating and drinking. Don't sit and just like throw food down your gullet while you're watching TV, or the one that I am so guilty of is sitting and just eating while I'm reading a book. Because you don't pay attention to what you're eating, you don't taste it, you don't enjoy it, and you don't notice as you're getting full. So take time to actually enjoy what you're consuming. We talked about that in our self-care list. One of the things we talked about was having a nice, like, mindful cup of tea or like other beverage, like sit down, relax, enjoy as a matter of fact, when we get done here, I'm gonna make me a cup of tea and be super mindful and enjoy that. But be mindful as you're enjoying and eating, and be mindful, especially when you're eating, of your feeling of fullness. One thing y'all know that I have to do is be mindful of my snacking, because I will just eat and eat and eat and eat and eat, especially if it's something crunchy and salty, if I'm not being mindful. So one thing I do is I have my big old Hello Kitty popcorn bowl that I will fill up with just like regular old microwave popcorn, no shakes on it, no butter, no nothing, so that it's 0 points. It's healthy bites, but I have enough bites every day that it's fine. Like I can have that many bites, and I'll read and eat popcorn because I will sit and eat mindlessly. So when I do that, it has to be something that I can eat a lot of. Otherwise, I use those little single serving bags, and y'all, we have those bags all over the house. Drives the intern up a tree, but he's so good about it because he knows that that's one way that I sort of help myself stay on track, is I put things in single serving size bags so that I'm able to keep up with what I'm eating. So think about that. Put your snacks in single serving size bags so that you're not just like eating straight out the box. All right. Back to the seasonability, whatever, the season of this whole thing. Set realistic seasonal goals for yourself. Like maybe say to yourself, okay, this fall, because I feel like once the holidays come around, not all bets are off, but things get a little wonky, and then we, kind of try to pull it all back in. We're going to have another reset at New Year, but for me, it's from right before Thanksgiving until right after Christmas that it's hard to sort of maintain these things, and you got to give yourself grace. So up until that time, try to set manageable and achievable goals for yourself, like adding a serving of fruit or veg a day, or maybe cooking one new seasonal or just any old vegetable dish a week. So like every week, find a new vegetable dish to try. Or maybe tell yourself, like, for the month of October, I'm going to do X. And then once you do that, by the end of October, that's a habit, right? So maybe it's, I don't know, eating 4 servings of vegetables every work week. Like for the 5-day work week, I'm gonna eat 4 servings of vegetables. So all through October, you do that. Well, then you're in the habit of doing that. So then in November, your goal can be to work out 4 times a week. So you can like add goals to sort of build on your plan, because again, once you do it for a while, it just becomes a habit and you stop thinking about it. See, I know. All right, that's it for my list, y'all. So hang on. All right, so I told y'all I knew one thing I wanted to make, and then another thing I thought I wanted to make. So I pre-gamed a bit, and I mentioned that I started the spaghetti squash because the beginning part of spaghetti squash is just standard. So I took my spaghetti squash and I poked holes in it, And then I microwaved it for like 3 minutes just to get it soft enough to cut. Because I think y'all know that the intern bought me a hatchet for cutting squashes, and I hatcheted my counter. So we don't do that no more. So I used to worry about, and I've seen other people talk about this, that when you stab it, you're supposed to stab it like along the line where you're going to cut it. You ain't got to worry about all that, because once you microwave it, it makes it soft enough to cut. Not easy, but if you got a big, strong knife, you can cut it pretty easily. So I cut it in half, scooped out the guts, and put it face down, or like sprayed it with some olive oil, salt and pepper, put it cut sides down on a baking pan, and baked it at 400 degrees for, I think it was just shy of an hour. So I just took that out of the oven. We're going to do something with that, but in the meantime, I'm going to cut up some apples. I'm going to sprinkle some nutmeg and cinnamon on those apples. Throw them in that hot oven, let those bake, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with those. So let me get the apples in the oven, and then I'm going to throw some stuff together and show you what I'm going to make with my squash. All right, so give me a minute and I'll be right back. I don't remember, did I tell y'all that I'm starting another YouTube channel? I know. It's part of my fall reset. I'm not quite stressed out enough, so I'm gonna take on more responsibility. No, I'm kidding. But no, I really am starting a new YouTube channel. It's actually up now, but I haven't done anything on it yet. I will start on October 1st, and I'm gonna do so I do daily devotionals anyway, but I thought I will share them with people. So it'll go live. Like I said, it's already live. I will start October 1st. I'll link it in the description. I can't link things here because this channel isn't monetized, and I think you can't do that on not monetized channels, but I would love for y'all to join if you are so inclined, and you know, we can share some devotionals together. Anyway, let's get on with what we're doing here, and y'all, look at how amazing this is. So, of course, I cooked the whole squash. I'm only gonna prepare half of it right now though, so I'm gonna set the other half aside, and here's what I'm gonna do. Scoot y'all back a little. I'm going to start with the shred like you do. Ooh, I overcooked it a little. Because I was talking to y'all, I let it go too long, but that's all right. Remember, so I never do this. I never remember this, but if you start off by microwaving it a little, remember to sort of back that time out of your cook time. Mine's a little bit mushy, but not much. It'll be fine. All right, so I've shredded. Now, check this out. I'm gonna add, I made our little red sauce, just a super, super simple sauce with crushed tomatoes, garlic, basil, some seasoning. We'll put that in there, mush it around a little. I took some super lean ground beef from Fallon Bow. I was supposed to cook this for him later. I have some other stuff for him though, so it's all right. So I'm gonna put some super lean ground beef in there. I know y'all, I wish you could smell this. It smells so good. We'll put some fat-free mozzarella on it. And this is gonna go right back in that oven to let my cheese melt. Then we're gonna try it. And while I'm sticking this in the oven, let me grab something else. Hang on. So this is going back in that oven. And let me show you what I'm gonna try here. I saw this on one of those, you know those Facebook pages that are supposed to be like Weight Watcher friendly recipes, but they're always not Weight Watcher friendly recipes. They're just clickbait. Well, I saw this picture on there and I didn't click on it because I knew it was going to be clickbait, but I was like, ooh, I'm going to try that. That's a good idea. So what I did was I got a fat-free vanilla Greek yogurt. Now, this one isn't 80 calories, it's 130 calories, but we're going to make this into a little dessert. So those extra calories are okay. Hang on. I do this all the time when I mix Cheerios into my yogurt. I take a little silk almond milk. Let me move those for now. And I put in just a little splash of silk almond milk. And I mix it in with the yogurt just to give it a little more fluff. And now I'm going to take these apples. that y'all, all I did here was, it's warm. I took an apple and I just chopped it up and I sprinkled cinnamon and nutmeg on it, and I was tempted to put some monk fruit sweetener on it because you know how I love me some monk fruit sweetener, but I knew I was going to do this with it. But oh, these smell so good. They're good just like that. That nutmeg is a little bit of a lot, but here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix these apples into my vanilla Greek yogurt. And it's super simple and silly, but as soon as I saw it, I was like, I want to try that. I mean, you can do it like, you can make it much nicer than this, of course. And I think maybe I want a little more almond milk in here, but we're just trying it. So this is either going to be really good or it's going to be absolutely putrid. Because that's just how we roll here, right? We never have something that's, oh, it's just okay. All right, I'm going to put an extra apple on it. Ready? Here we go. Oh, that's really, really good. I sliced the apples so they would cook quickly. You know what I might do? Hang on. That's very good. You know what I might do is finish chewing before I speak, and then like make the apples bigger chunks next time, because I want a little more substance to my apple in this weirdness. That looks good. All right. I'm gonna dip a little of this out. I might put some more sauce on it, but again, the sauce is just diced or crushed tomatoes, so it's all 0 points. Ooh, that looks good. I thought about not doing a red sauce on it, just doing meat and cheese and squash. So let me try it. Let me let it cool off a little bit. Y'all, I am ensorcelled by that yogurt and apple concoction I made. All right. Let's try this. I think it is going to need a little more of the red sauce, but let's see. That's really good. Oh, you know what? I was like, something's cold. The cheese somehow is a little cold still. I don't know how any of it's cold. It all just came out of the pot, but I was debating, because you know how spaghetti squash has a little bit of sweetness to it? Let me put some more. Hang on. Throw some more of that sauce on it. That is good. That is really good. I could actually get the intern to eat this if it looked a little different. Like if it looked a little more like actual spaghetti, I could get the taste over on him. I could get the texture over on him. But just the fact that it looks like it came flying out of a squash, ain't no way he's gonna eat this. But I will eat the mess out of that, y'all. That is good. That is dinner. And that, my friends, is my fall reset. So let us know in the comments, do you feel like you need a fall reset? And if so, what kind of things do you feel like you need to tweak before we head into the craziness of the holidays? Let us know. Y'all, thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you made it this far, we are most definitely friends. So go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you can keep up with the shenanigans. I upload food and fitness videos over here at the beginning of every week, with some book videos over on Fit Danielle Reads, sprinkled in between. See you on the next one. Oh, and subscribe to Fit Danielle Prays if you'd like to hang out with me every morning and do a little devotional.